Not Broke fam? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Monday. If you haven't, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Join Cheap Not Broke. Also go to cheapnotbroke.com and sign up for that email list. Find out when I'm doing comedy shows, when I got things going on, merch, all that stuff. That's how you stay in tune what's going on. Everything Cheap Not Broke. And tonight, what are we discussing? EVs suck. Are EVs terrible? Mm. I had some personal experience with one, and I can tell you all about it. But I also want to dive into it because I live in California, and EVs are quote unquote the thing of the future. I'm not gonna disagree with that, but they not the future right now. That's not happening. These cars suck. They break down on you. It takes 20 minutes, 20, 30, 40 minutes to charge. What am I sitting in the damn cell phone? Why I gotta sit in here and charge this thing? Here nor there. But before we get into all that, Christmas is coming up. Hope you're having happy holidays. Before you get out here and spend all this money on Christmas stuff on all these people and everybody in your family, find out this. Can you afford it? Make sure you can afford it because Christmas is an emotional time where you want to buy stuff for your loved ones, friends, family, and everybody else, Secret Santa and all that. Make sure your bills are paid. Don't be one of these people out here going into debt for Christmas and then you're using your tax money to pay it off. That makes no sense and you don't want to be doing that. So don't be that person. Don't be that person. EVs. Now let's get into this EV stuff. So reason why I want to talk about these EVs is because I was watching something and they were saying that the price of EVs, they're not selling. The price of EVs are not selling and the price of the EVs, electric vehicles, are coming down. The price of the electric vehicles are coming down and that happened to be that seems to be a issue. That seems to be an issue because the government's pushing this thing. They've got a lot of money behind it. Joe Biden, he's pushing it. Hey, get the EV. Well, it's not going. It's going extremely variable. Extremely variable. That's what we're going to use for because they're going up and down. We don't know what it's going to do. Here's the thing with those cars. Those cars only go about an average 300 miles. No, 200, 100, 200 miles, maybe 250. But they don't go far enough. And it's not guaranteed that depending on what you do in the car. For example, if you play your music, you might lose 3 miles. Okay. If you hit the gas, you might lose another 3 miles. Okay. The mileage is not just going to go 253. It kind of, so the reason I know is I rented a Tesla. I rented a Tesla in Denver for a few days and man, it sucked. Nice car, very fast, but man, just going to the charging station, it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So we went to the Rocky Mountains, right? I went to the Rocky Mountains, and in order to go to the Rocky Mountains, I've charged the car up full. In order to get all the way out where I was going, I had to charge again. I couldn't make it all the way up there on one charge. Now, I know if I had gas, I would have made it there and back on one tank. But I had to stop and charge the car because where we were going, if we don't went straight there, we wouldn't have had enough juice to get home. So we had to go there, get juice back up like halfway. So we have a full tank getting there because if we would have went all the way straight from where we were at in Denver, Colorado to the Rocky Mountains, which is like near Estes Park, we wouldn't have had enough juice. And I'm like, no, this ain't for me. And then you got to sit there 20 minutes. Man, you're trying to get somewhere. So if you're trying to be somewhere on time, you got to really be there. I don't know if the EVs really help you. The EVs kind of suck. I had to sit there, charge in the charging station. Now the charging stations are really nice. I'm not gonna lie. Tesla they have some nice charging stations. I did enjoy that, but I did enjoy sitting there wasting my time for 20 minutes trying to get this car charged. It was annoying. It got on my nerves. So I'm like, you know what? Forget it. I don't think this is for me. But we're gonna look at some. I found some EV cars. I found 11 EV cars. I said, all right, let's see what's going on tonight. I mean, let's see what's the best EV car and how much does it actually cost. Let's get into it. So, EVs. Here are the 11 cheapest EV cars you can buy. Now, you know, Cheap Not Broke. We want to find out, we know where you can get the best bang for your buck. That's what we're about. Saving money, making money. That's what we do. So, here's the first one. We got the Chevy Blow EV Blue. If you're thinking about buying an EV car, let me know. Drop a comment. If you have an EV car, drop a comment. Let me know what's your experience with one. I would love to hear about it. Here's the Chevy Bolt EV Blue. A Chevy Bolt EV. Okay, EVU, excuse me. Starting price at $27,000. Now, let's be honest. That's not the loan. They're going to add some interest, so it's going to be more than that. Estimated range, estimated 249, 247 to 259. Okay, for what? That's an extra what? 12? You giving me an extra 12 distance? I don't make no difference. That doesn't matter. Um, Here's the thing. That's not guaranteed that. I know it's not because depending on what you're doing with the car, it could be less. Like I don't know. At least in the car I was in, doing extra stuff, playing music, this, that, and the fifth, the battery was dropping down. It wasn't just drive straight on to 247,000, 259 miles. No, the battery powers everything in the car. Like hitting the gas and going super fast, that made a difference on how fast the electricity was being dispersed. Like I said, this is my experience. I don't know about everybody else's. So this thing's $27,000, goes 253 miles, 247 miles an hour. It's not, and they're all kind of ugly. These aren't like, car lovely. It look like a jelly bean. This look like a first year teacher's car. Nothing wrong with a first year teacher, but this look like somebody who's teaching for the first year. They would drive this kind of car. Nothing wrong with it. The Nissan Leaf. Okay, we got the Nissan Leaf. What they gonna have? The Bush next, the Nissan Grass, the Nissan Acorn. What we gonna have? Nissan Acorn. Starting price 29,135. Estimated 149 miles to 212. Now let's slide back up. Now this is what 29 costs more. Car costs more money. It costs approximately $2,000 more, and this car goes damn near what 212. So you're gonna get about a good 60, 212, what's that math? So you get about an extra 40 something miles, maybe 30, 40 miles. I'm not sure the exact math, but you get an extra few miles out of this car. Now you're actually gonna pay more because, like, yeah, you got to still add interest and factor in how good your credit is to really figure out what the starting price is for you. But for 149 miles to 212, I don't think you can't even get from California. I mean, shit, you can't get from LA to Sacramento, San Francisco. You can't get from LA to San Francisco on that. That's not gonna cut it. That's not gonna cut it. So these cars really don't have a lot of juice, man. And you're paying a ton of money for them. 2023 Nissan Leaf is small, four-door hatchback and has one of the most fully electric vehicles around nationwide. But you can't drive nationwide with it. None of these cars can go nationwide. Mini Coupe SE hardtop, this is gonna cost about $31,000, and it goes 100 estimated range 114 miles. You can't go nowhere. Where you going 114 miles? You go 114 miles in traffic. All right, you can't go nowhere. This is not a road trip car. You're gonna be tripping that you stuck on the road. That's what's gonna happen to you. But this is not a road trip car, and you wonder why these cars suck and nobody wants to buy them. $31,000 and you only get 100 miles out of it. Come on. And you're not going to drive 100 miles. You're probably going to stop and charge up between then. And on here, I don't think it shows the charging time. None of these are showing how long it takes for him to charge because you got to sit there and let it charge up. That takes time. So I'm not really feeling that. Let's go to the next one. Next one. And like I said, they all look like jelly beans. I don't like these damn jelly bean hatchback cars. Only Honda can really do the hatchback. Honda's the leader of the hatchback. Hyundai Kona Electric. What is it, Hawaiian? 34,885. 258 miles. 258 miles. That's not bad. 34,000, but still the one that's leading right now is the Chevy Blue because it's 27,000. It gets 259. So you're still saving money. And I don't know if the features in these cars are a lot better. It's not really listing that, but 34,258, not bad. Car kind of ugly. Still go with the first one because you're saving more money. And like I said, once again, $34,000 interest. Nah, not a good bang for your buck. Mazda XX30. This is gonna be about 35. 100 miles. 100 miles. You can't go nowhere with 100 miles. 100 miles. $34,000. 100 miles on the car. Now, you got fully electric cars out here that can go 300 miles. And it only takes 6 minutes, or not even 6. It takes 2 or 3 minutes to put gas in it. This car is going to charge you 100 miles for $35,000. That doesn't make any sense. That price, that you can't justify paying $35,000 and only going 100 miles and 20 minutes to charge. And you're not going to charge. Let me tell you, you're not driving the whole 100 miles. You got to charge the car up before it runs out because it's not like, a gas powered car you can drive with the gas light on. Hell no. These things are cut off on you. And then I don't know what you're gonna do. You have to probably get it towed because you can't just push it to the gas station. I'm assuming there's no gas station. You don't take no gas, so you got to do something else. Now here we go. Volkswagen ID4. Now Volkswagen, they've been really on this push for the EV. They seem like they know what they're doing over there. I used to work on cars. Volkswagens weren't my favorite, but they might just be a better electric car company. I would say one of the two leading car companies right now is Volkswagen and Volvo. Volkswagen and Volvo, they're really trying to go 100% electric. They're not playing with you. Electric everything. Electric cigarettes. They like, we don't even smoke real cigarettes no more. We only smoke electric cigarettes. You shouldn't be smoking cigarettes at all. But they say, you know what? We work for Volkswagen, electric everything, including the cigarettes. I said, all right, that's what y'all want to do. $40,000, $40,290, and it goes 209 and to 200, 209 to 275 miles. Not bad. That's not bad, but still, let's slide back up to the top because listen here. Still, for $29,000, $27,000, you can still get 259,000. So it's got to be the luxury or the amenities that you're paying for. Let's see. The car sports like a coupe-like roof design, rear hinge doors. This is all bullshit. This thing ugly. This car looked like somebody who climbed rocks. If you climb rocks, this is a car for you. It don't look good. It's ugly. It's got the jelly bean hatchback. It got the flat booty. The car don't have no booty. So I don't like it. Not my thing. But for $35,000, you only going 100 damn miles. So let me tell you this. What kind of road trip you going on 100 miles? Where y'all going? This is an in-city car. And most people, now, if you live in the city, cool, but at some point in time, you're probably going to take a road trip. And you paying 35 grand plus interest, taxes, all that. Probably this car probably going to run you about 42 with out the door. And you're only getting 100 miles plus charge time. They're lying to you. They're not telling you how much the charge time is. Let's see. For road trips and $500 in charge point credit cards, public charging towards. See, and you got to pay to charge these cars. Like I said, it's cheap to charge them. It's cheap to charge them. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Hey, if you got an EV car, if I'm saying something that's not true, drop a comment. Let me know. Talking about all these EV cars and how they overpriced and they don't go that damn far. For $35,000, you might as well get gas. Why you want to do that? $40,000, 209 miles, 275 miles. Not bad, but how long do it take to take these things? Because when I was driving the Tesla, it had to sit there for a minute. Now, this is when I was in Denver. This is the exact kind of car I had. It was Tesla Model 3. I hope this is the smaller one. I think it is. I don't know. I can't tell by looking at it, but I had the smaller version. So if this is the small, I think this is the bigger version. Starting price at $40,000, not bad because Teslas used to cost a whole lot more money. I remember Teslas running about 55. Estimated range 272 to 358 miles. That's not too bad. The Tesla 3 sedan is the smallest. Okay, that is the smallest one, and it's the cheapest. All right, yeah. So this is the small one. Let me tell you, mine didn't go 358 miles. It damn sure didn't. I couldn't make it from Denver to the Rocky Mountains. I had to stop. I had to charge halfway to the mountains because if we would have drove straight from Denver to the mountains, we would have had no battery. And there's no charging ports up there. Then I would have been up, with no battery, and I got to call and get a tow truck. Like, hell no, I'm not doing all that. That's stupid. So I had one of these in Denver, and I definitely didn't get no 358 miles out of it. Hell no. And then I remember I drove it to Estes Park and I drove it to Colorado Springs. I made it straight to Colorado Springs without a charge. I think that was like an hour and a half away. I did have to charge it up while I was in Colorado Springs to make it back to Denver. However, here's the problem. When I left Colorado Springs, I had to stop again to charge it to take it back to the airport. You can't go nowhere in these damn things without stopping and charging. It's like you got to go to the bathroom and pee all the time. You got to stop at the rest stop and go pee all the time. It's annoying. Now, it was real nice. The car was super nice, really fast. I did enjoy driving it. Driving it was fun. I enjoyed driving it. I had a good time driving it. But that damn charging. And then the thing with the Tesla charging stations, you got the supercharger station and then you got the regular charging station. Didn't know the difference. So I initially went to Walmart, but I didn't know anything about the thing. When you get this, they don't really, they have a map in the car to show you where all the charging stations are, but it's not. I don't know, maybe for me, because I was new, it wasn't super detailed. So I'm like, I'm going to Walmart. Walmart was across the street from my hotel. Went to Walmart. None of the charging ports work. I didn't learn. I had to learn and realize that when you go to these electric charging stations, they take different heads. So whatever inserts into the car, they're not all the same. Now I don't know if they all take adapters, because the Tesla we had didn't have the adapter. We had to go to a Tesla station to get it charged. So I left Walmart and went to a regular Tesla station. It took about 35 minutes to charge this damn thing up. And it wasn't even like all the way empty. It was just, I was just trying to get it back up so I can keep on going. It took a minute and I wasn't really happy about that. I said, man, this kind of sucks. Now everybody's over there chilling and charging, but that's a waste of time. I'd rather gas prices stay high and I get my time. Then I'm, paying cheap, getting these cheap prices on electricity, but I'm sitting there 35, spending an hour a day charging my car. I'm not with it. Let's move on. Kia Niro EV. Now let's see. This is $40,000. This goes to 253. Now my question is, why are all these hatchbacks? You can't get a sedan. Tesla's the only one with like a sedan. Everybody else cars like, ugly. I'm like, this is somebody in high school would drive. I don't think this is a grown person, something that they want to drive. But anyway, this thing gets you 253 miles, $40,000. And you can get a gas car for that. It's not good. I would go to Toyota and Honda for that price. Hyundai. Now look at Hyundai. Now Hyundai's getting together. Hyundai's come a long way. Hyundai's come a long way. If you haven't, you should go look at some of the new stuff Hyundai got out there. They got some good stuff. They got some good stuff out there. I would check it out. Now, this is a Hyundai Ioniq 6. $42,000, 240 miles to 361. Now, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's pretty. That can get you where you want to go. You can probably get across the state, with that. Considering this is just if you're driving, because like I said, when you turn the car on, you lose 2%. When you turn the music on, you lose a little bit. And when you hit the gas too much, it's not just a straight 361 miles. Because like in a car, the gas is the gas. Unless you turn on the AC, you're not really pulling on the motor like that. Electric don't have nothing to do with the gas in a gas powered car. That's the battery and the alternator and distributor. That have nothing to do with it. But when you're driving the EV, everything is powered by the batteries. So when you use more battery, it's going to take away from how far the car can go. So I'm assuming if you're going to make it 361 miles, you got to have the music off. You can't listen to no music and go that far, because if you do, it's going to turn you down. Next one, Ioniq 5. Now I drove one of these on the test track. I went to LA car show. They had one of these on a test track. This car is pretty nice. Like I say, none of these are attractive to me, all ugly. But $42,000, 220 to 300 miles, not bad. But you still be better off going with this one, because you get you an extra 60 miles. 60 miles is a big difference. 60 miles. Have you ever drove 60 miles? 60 miles, that take like 45 minutes to drive 60 miles. You can't drive that fast. And that's the last one. So, overall, all these cars are priced at like $40,000. But think about what you're competing with for $40,000. You're competing out there with Honda. Honda makes great cars. You're competing with the Toyota Corolla, the Toyota Camry, the Honda Accord, the Honda Civic, those four cars I can think of off the top of my head. You ever competing with those four cars? Let me tell you something. Right now, if anybody listening right now, I guarantee you've seen a Toyota or a Honda within the last week from the 1990s that somebody's driving. I guarantee if you haven't, you're going to see one this week. Those cars hold up so damn well. My first car was a 99 Honda Accord, two-door coupe. Loved it. Barely had any problems on it. The parts are very inexpensive, and you can get them fixed very cheap. You can get a transmission for like $3,000. You can get a new motor for like $4,000. You can just replace the motor and keep it on going. You don't have to, save up $4,000. Excuse me. And then, find your mechanic to drop the motor and do all that for you. You can replace the whole car, have it like brand new. You can't do that with no EV. There's no motor. All you got to do is buy the batteries. And that was another thing that they were trying to discuss with the EVs, is saying that they don't have resale value. You don't know if you turn one of these things in and it's used, how much you're going to buy it from. You don't really know that. And another thing, I know these batteries burn up. I was on my way flying out of LA, and one of the damn cars caught on fire. And my Uber driver was crazy. We were putting the stuff in the Uber. Uber driver act like she didn't see what the hell was going on. I said, lady, drive up. This car about to explode. Never seen nothing like that. But that's kind of scary. The car just catch on fire. I mean, and then you got to claim it on your insurance. And let's be honest, the insurance is depreciating. So if you bought the car for 42, they're probably going to give you what, depending on what the resale value is, you might get 30 out of it, something like that. Resale value might suck, but if you get damaged or whatever the case may be, it's really going to be bad. So nobody knows what you're going to get if you resell these cars, and nobody knows how long it lasts. So it's a lot of uncertainty up in the air with these things. And I for one, I'm not really for it. I'm not really for it. I'm going to keep going with gas. Environment, oh, it's all the environment, this, that, feel. Okay, well, you can walk your ass to where you got to go. I'm not doing that. And I'm not catching no train, and I'm not catching no bus. I'm driving my damn car. I don't care if gas get to $10 a gallon. Well, I just drive when I need to, but I'm not doing this whole electricity thing. Because this is what I think what's going to happen with the electric car. I think at some point in time, they're going to treat the electric car like the cell phone. They're going to make you continuously pay for the update. Because like right now, if you get a car for cash, that's your car. You can do whatever the hell you want with it. It's your car. Some break down, fix it. These new cars, they have to send you an update. These electric cars, they have to send you an update from the company, just like your cell phone. What happens if you get an EV and they want to say, all right, well, you got to get this update, $300 update. And if you don't pay for the update, your car not going to start in the morning. What the hell are you talking about? I can see it happening like that. They're going to be like, all right, you know what? If you don't pay for the updates, the car's not going to run anymore. And then instead of going to a mechanic shop, you're going to have some guy, some engineer trying to fix your car. He might charge you $200-$300 an hour. That's crazy. But before we get out of here real quick, we're going to take a break, and I got some other stuff for you. I'll be right back. And we're back. EVs burning up. That's what we're talking about. Cars catching on fire and all that good stuff. Yeah, it's dangerous. And I don't even know how the insurance works with these things, because gas cars have been around for a long time. EVs are new. If that thing sit there and burn up in your garage, yeah, give me all the money back. I can't get no resellers. Oh, well, it's depreciated. This, that, hell no. Y'all need to give me all my money. So I am very uncertain with these EVs. If you have one, if you're in the chat watching right now, let me know if you have EV. What's your experience with it? Would you recommend it to a family member or a friend to buy an EV? I don't know. I don't really know. I having one for that first experience, it's the problem is not the money, it's the amount of time it takes to charge and the distance that it goes. I'm sure there's gas cars that can go 400 miles out here. EVs are not doing that, and they're not telling you the truth. Just because it says 300 miles on it, that don't mean you're actually going to get it, because the batteries power everything. It powers everything in the car, and it just may not work out like that. So I don't know. Anyway, in other news, got Christmas coming up. Christmas is coming up. If you haven't done your Christmas shopping, you should, because shipping is going to get extremely expensive. It's going to get hard to get some of that stuff. But like I was saying earlier in the show, don't go into debt buying people Christmas stuff. Hey, Christmas is cash. Christmas is cash. Christmas is a cash event. You don't need to be going in debt buying nobody nothing. Forget that. Don't put nothing on your credit card. If you can't afford to pay it off by December, leave it alone. We don't want to go into debt. We don't want to go into January with consumer debt. That's not something we want to do over here at Cheap Not Broke. I'm making sure I'm buying all my Christmas stuff cash. And look, if you're in a bad spot and somebody's making you feel bad for not buying them something, pick a finger. You know which one I'm talking about. Look, don't make you feel bad for what you can and can't do around Christmas, because I know it's a whole thing that if somebody buys you something nice and you can't buy them something nice, you might feel bad for it, so you might overextend yourself to try to make them, try to make up for it. Look here, don't do that. Don't do that. You're going to have buyer's remorse, and then you're going to be broke on New Year's. Instead of drinking champagne, you're going to be drinking apple cider because you can't get the good stuff. So don't do that. Make sure, stay within your means. Don't be out here doing all that stuff. And whatever your New Year's resolutions are, don't do them, bro. Don't spend all your money doing them. I know I'm not a New Year's resolution person. I don't believe in that stuff, because you don't stick to that shit. You just got to keep doing what you're doing. Whatever you're doing right now, improve on it next year. But just to say, I'm going to go to the gym, lose weight, and all this other stuff, Nah, I'm not into that New Year's resolution stuff. I don't believe in that. That's not my thing. But I tell you what, one of my New Year's resolutions is this year, next year. My next year resolution is I'm gonna try to bring you guys a little more stock information because I do invest. I'm into that, but I'm just not no expert. I see some other people talking about that stuff. They know a whole lot. But for me, I'm just gonna focus on the terms. We're just gonna focus on vocabulary and stocks because you gotta know a lot of stuff like stop limit, but it's a lot of stuff. I don't even know. I don't want to get into all. But I'm just going to focus on next year for the show. My New Year's resolution is just to keep proving the brand of Cheap Not Broke. Keep making sure the shows are great, that people are enjoying the content, and that we just keep moving forward and making money and figuring out how to save some money, make money, and not get beat. Because, it's not always about making money and saving money. It's just finding a good deal. Because sometimes I feel like I'm out here getting cheated. Sometimes I'm out here trying to make money. I can't find it. It's a whole thing. But we'll get into that later. Anyway, I wanted to get on here tonight to talk about the EVs because I had a whole thing about it. Oh, Elon Musk, before we get out of here. The real problem with the EVs is Tesla has the EV market by the balls. And what Elon says goes. Like I was reading this article today. If Tesla raises the price or drops the price, it affects the market significantly because they're dominating the market. And that just creates a lot of lack of trust in the cars. Because like you said, there's when the last time you seen a Tesla repair shop? Do you see one? Who working on the EV? Who the hell is working? You can't take it down to Chuck. Chuck used to take your car down to Chuck. Chuck used to hook you up. Chuck come out with a cigarette. Chuck was the only person you let work on your car drinking alcohol, because I know Chuck know what he's doing. But Chuck don't know nothing about no EV. So now you got to go find some new guy named Barry. Barry probably like 27 years old with an engineering degree. He going to charge you $200 an hour. You're going to be pissed off at Barry. Barry going to charge you $200 an hour. Barry going to keep your car 4 hours. He did the work in 20 minutes. It's going to piss you off. So I don't even know how this repair thing is going to work for the EVs. You can use it to take it to your regular mechanic. He get your car fixed, get your oil change. You don't have to get no oil change with no EV. You ain't got to do none of that. But all that other stuff, you don't know how much you're going to pay. How much is a battery for EV? Tell me that. How much do you pay for a battery? And then when you go into AutoZone, do you see EV batteries? Nope. They don't have a damn thing for no EVs in no AutoZone. So you're going to be going back to the dealership, paying all these high prices for the parts. I used to work at AutoZone. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you this. When you buy a new car, they don't allow the cars to be aftermarket for somebody else to make the cars for like 2-3 years. So let's say a car is made in 2024. They're not going to let AutoZone or nobody carry the parts until probably 2026. You got to go back to the dealership and get them parts. And the dealership, they're going to kick you in the ass. Oh, yeah. Dealership, people think they make all their money from selling cars. No, dealership makes a majority of their revenue from repairs because everybody's got to come in for repairs. And the dealership makes you think, oh, we're the best at what we do. They're marking that shit up. You can go down the street. Next time you got to get your car worked on, if you like going to the dealership, cool. Just do me a favor. Call a couple other shops and see how much the labor per hour is. You don't have to go. Just see how much the labor per hour, because the dealership is going to run you about $120. You can go to another shop and get your car fixed for about $60 per hour. Per hour is where the labor cost is. Because let me tell you, when somebody's working on your car, the labor hour, you don't go from, first hour is $60, next hour is $80. That's not where they make their money. They make their money on the parts. So let's say, when you're buying, let's say you got to get your alternator changed and you take it to the shop. They might charge you $60 an hour. The alternator might be $238. They're going to mark that alternator up. They might mark it up to $300 because they can do that. So they don't just make money off labor. They make money off marking up the parts. Especially if you go get brake pads or you go get your brakes done, they're going to be like, hey, look, we can't do the work unless we buy the parts. That's the only way we're going to warranty the work. What they're really saying is, hey, look, look, unless we buy the parts, we're not going to trust that bullshit that you're doing, because if you buy some BS parts, we got to take it back off. And we also can't mark it up and make more money. So we're losing on both sides of the deal. So the whole auto mechanic, because let me tell you something. I spent all through college, I worked at AutoZone and O'Reilly's. I know cars. That's one thing I know well. I know cars. And these EVs, they're gonna set a lot of people back. They're gonna set it's gonna be like having a HOA fee attached to your car. I'm trying to tell you, they're gonna charge people for updates, and the update's gonna be expensive as hell. You're gonna walk outside one day, You're going to push the button, your car not going to start, and it's going to be $400 for the update, or you ain't going nowhere. That's what's happening. That's where we're heading. We're already in a subscription society. They making you pay subscriptions. So when you pay the car off 2-3 years, okay, you pay $42,000. Okay, good. Now you got to go keep paying for the updates because you get once your car's done, if it's running fine, you got to get your oil changed, get your tires changed, and just keep up the maintenance. Get your tune up every now and then. Other than that, you solid. But anyway, I appreciate everybody tuning in. We're gonna be back. If you haven't checked out, I just put up some stand-up comedy, man. If you watched the video, thank you. Appreciate it. Hit that like button, hit that comment button. I really appreciate the comments. Really, really help. If you can comment on this video, it really, really helps. If you hit the like button, that really helps because it helps me grow. I'm trying to grow the channel. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. So if you can tell a friend, tell another friend, that's very helpful. Like I said, but even everybody that's watching right now, the support is appreciated. But the like button is very much appreciated. And the comment is very, very much appreciated. Anyway, I'm going to do a raffle next week. We're going to do a raffle. So make sure you tune into the show. I am going to do a raffle. I'm going to raffle away a couple Cheap Not Broke shirts. And I got some other merch. So I appreciate everybody watching it while I'm tuning in. So next Monday, I will announce how the raffle is going to work. I'm going to work on that this week. So tune back in next Monday for the raffle so you can win some Cheap Not Broke merchandise. And hell, if there's only a few people on here right now, I'll give everybody something. But you got to tune back in next Monday to make sure you're in for the raffle. It's going to be great. Stuff is good. So we come a long way with Cheap Not Broke. We got the patch now. Before I used to make them myself and the letters be falling off, but that we come a long way. Anyway, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Have a good night. We'll be back live this week and stay safe and take care.